Now that we are here and we are at the peak spooky time of the year, Kayla is going to bestow upon us the spooky stories of cryptozoology.
Have you ever heard of a Wendigo, demon shapeshifter, but also cannibalistic human-eating monster? Maybe they are portals to hell.
Welcome back and happy Tuesday, turkeys. How long have we known each other?
We've known each other for 2 decades.
I am not apologizing for who I am or what I like or the people that I love.
How do I be a wife? How do I be a mom? And how do I be myself in all of that? You didn't see that coming, did you?
Hello, welcome back. Happy Tuesday, turkey tots.
Happy Tuesday. Good morning.
Hello. I would like to just go on the record to say that this is not a sponsor, but I'm drinking Dr. D's sparkling probiotic drink. This is not a truly or an alcoholic beverage. I just don't want it to seem like I'm drinking alcohol in the morning.
I like that. I've
You
never
guys
had
know
one of
what
those.
time this is, but they're pretty good. They were buy one, get one free at Publix, so.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. Kayla has been waiting to do this episode since, it's easily been 6 months.
Yes. But we saved
Now
it
that
for
Halloween.
the perfect timing. Yes.
Yeah. Now that Halloween is here, All Hallows Eve, Samhain, Spooky Day, Satan's birthday. Just kidding. I don't know if that's a thing. But now that we are here and we are at the peak spooky time of the year, Kayla is going to bestow upon us the spooky stories that she watches on YouTube, and the whole science and or pseudoscience of cryptozoology.
Exactamundo. Mm-hmm.
I know nothing, so I can't wait.
I'm so excited to share my wealth of knowledge, even if it's pseudoscience. I feel like at this point in this day and age, if you believe in aliens or ghosts, there's something else out there in the world. Whether it's interdimensional or a different planet or maybe hollow earth, there's stuff that's going on that's paranormal that we don't understand as humans. And there's just so many eyewitness stories. Now, granted, some of these could be hoax, and will we ever know? I hope to find out when I die. But there's so much evidence that there is a thing, but it's all anecdotal. So take that for what it's worth as we go through these, but I'm very excited. A cryptid. We've come to discuss that the spelling is Cryptid. And the definition is an animal or creature that people believe is real, but there is no solid proof or scientific evidence available to substantiate the claim. Whatever.
Blech.
Apparently, I don't know this, but the Greek word kryptos is means hidden or secret. So it's
Makes
like,
sense.
ooh, you know?
Thus a cryptic,
Yes.
cryptograph.
But what is crypto? Okay, anyway.
Hidden money.
Hidden money?
Yeah.
Behind the blockchain? Okay. So, cryptozoology, it's actually funny because preparing for this episode, I didn't actually know this was a part of this. I just listened to A, bunch of YouTube videos, and B, a lot of podcasts, but I found out cryptozoology is actually a thing, and that's the formal study of these strange animals, and I can't believe it's an actual thing, but I love it. And there's a museum in Portland, and we should go one day. So anyway, let me dive in because I feel like this could be a lot. The first one.
Hey, turkeys, real quick, we want to tell you about our fun new free craft corner. Every quarter, in line with the equinox or solstice, we are going to send out new farts and crafts projects. You can find the link in the show notes. Just drop us your email. We promise not to spam you, but we'd love for you to join us. Now back to the show.
Have you ever heard of a Wendigo?
No. Okay. I sort of feel like I heard of this on Scooby-Doo.
Really?
Because I've been we'll find out when I Google it. I don't actually know if that's true. But I've been putting Scooby-Doo on for the dogs because they have it on HBO, the original ones from the 70s. And there's this one with like a Native American thing that's chasing people around. Of course, like Scooby-Doo, surprise, it's a person in a mask. But I'm excited to hear more about it because I sort of have this feeling it's where it came from. And if it did, and it's all the way back in the 70s people were talking about it, I'm going to feel really confirmed.
That's crazy. Okay, so it's known to be a mythological cannibalistic monster. Terrifying. Maybe you can pull this up on the screen share. They are giant creatures with slender bodies, like estimated 14 feet tall, terrifying, and they can mimic people's voices, which is also terrifying. Wendigo apparently means evil spirit that eats humans.
when they do it. That's wretched.
So scary.
This is horrid.
It has like the antlers and everything.
Yeah,
So
I guess I can describe this better. So I keep seeing the common theme is that they're like these long, scraggy creatures with like long fingers, and then they have all of the ones I'm seeing have a like a stag skull head.
they look like demonic, skinny, tall demon deer.
Yeah. They're definitely walking on 2 feet with long armies. This is so weird. Okay,
So
this is not what was on Scooby Doo, but I really feel like maybe that's what they said though.
that well, there's probably I mean, they probably couldn't put that depiction on Scooby Doo.
Maybe
That's
there is a weird version of one.
terrifying.
There's one in the Marvel universe. Okay, where I'm getting severely sidetracked. So
Oh,
why
look,
don't we
there
go
it is
back?
down there. What's a Scooby Doo? Yeah, Wolfie Woo. Oh, never mind. I don't know what that is. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like folklore dating back to North American. I'm gonna butcher this. Algonquin. Oh shit. I should just put it up.
Algonquin?
Wow. Yes.
I
Okay.
don't even know what it means.
Well, it's Al. What'd you say?
Algonquin.
Speaking tribes.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it's a language and it comes from Native American tribes, and I guess the word means owl, but also cannibalistic human eating monster.
Is that why there was an owl in that horrible, horrible movie with aliens?
Probably. Owls have a lot of meaning behind them that we're not going to get into today. But anyway, they are typically found in northern climates because they can survive harsh winters and weather, but they do mimic people's voices, apparently. Like, if you hear your name, don't turn around. You just keep walking.
No. Okay.
Okay, so that's the first one, which is terrifying. Skinwalker, which a lot of people I feel like have heard of at least, is
I've heard the
also
word, but I have no idea.
okay. It's not as scary when you look it up because a lot of depictions are from the Native American old drawings. So it's like it looks like a person with some stuff on, like a costume almost. But in real life, I've heard these things are terrifying. So it's basically a demon shapeshifter.
That's always fun.
Uh-huh. The Navajo skinwalker has deep roots in Native American lore. Oh, these are better pictures. I mean, shit, the one that says skinwalker with little baby handwriting, terrifying.
All right, it's the baby handwriting that really does it. Okay.
I think if you go back to the main thing,
Okay, sorry, keep reading.
you're good. Okay, so Navarro culture, or excuse me, autocorrect. Navajo culture believed these were to be witches that used to be humans, but other people just believe they're demons that are here and they basically can shapeshift though, so they can make themselves appear to be like a wolf or a dog or a deer and then turn into something terrifying after they lure you in. Yeah, these are all terrifying looking.
So, do we think they can make themselves look like a person?
Well, that too. What is their true origin of look? We don't know. But they do say they can turn themselves into like dogs or wolves or coyotes or something to make it, so they can get closer. But they could, I mean, if they're a shapeshifter and they're a demon shapeshifter, I'm sure they can give themselves look like human. Um, so Terry Sherman is a guy who bought land that is now famous as the Skinwalker Ranch. So I don't know
That
if you
just came up on the Google Images.
Yep. So they've monetized that clearly, which I love, but it is a paranormal hub apparently with a lot of UFO activity and skinwalker sightings, which brings me to my existential questions. I'm going to jump down a little bit because I feel as though aliens. Okay, question for you. Do you think aliens and demons and cryptids are all completely separate, like, facets of the world? I feel like they
I
could
have a
be
hard time. Well,
intermingled.
I have a hard time with the whole demon thing because of the very demonic, obsessed childhood I had.
Or, like, just
It's
ghosts.
I sort of feel like the whole demon thing easily could have been religious terminology used to explain a paranormal phenomenon. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that word not even being its own thing. That's just
Mm-hmm.
being like a word of the times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I also feel like ghosts would be separate because to me that seems more like an energy leftover situation.
Yeah. I wonder if like they classify demons as demons because they don't have words for these cryptids or aliens or whatever terrifying things that are out there. There's so many stories of like someone sees a UFO or the UFO is around their house. It's not just, oh my God, what was that? It's like you feel kind of connected to it. And then in a short period of time close to that, you are also now experiencing other paranormal things like a cryptid creature or, other things like that. So are the aliens accessing a portal? Is there just a portal near these people where all types of things are coming in and out? I just think it's really weird
Do
and
other like weird things? Are they attracted to the energy of something?
that's true. Yeah. It's interesting. And if they're portals, like the other thing we'll get into Sasquatch, or I like to say Bigfoot because it's easier for me to say. Same thing basically, but Bigfoot we can go to next because they are seen in a lot of like forests and national parks. And it's weird because there's so many people that go missing in national parks. Now, granted, a national park is big, it can be dangerous. People hike, they can get dehydrated, they can get lost. Valid reasons to die.
They're
But
also
the
beautiful, and I think people will go there for intentional last moments.
yes. But it's the going missing part, unless they just get eaten real quick by whatever. But like,
Yeah.
no remains, no nothing. There's just so many instances of people going missing in national parks that it begs the question that a lot of these things are in there. Mm-hmm.
I know Sasquatch is one part of the country and Bigfoot's the other part. Do you recall which is which?
I don't. I don't. But the interesting thing is, in every basically region of the United States, there is something similar. The what is it called? The
The
White
White
Thing
Thing.
of Alabama. Okay, so it's different down there.
I
Sorry,
think I want to someday, next Halloween, we should do a global perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
quite certain that these legends exist in other countries. I just can't think
Oh
of their
yeah,
names.
me neither. But there's a long list. I mean, if you Google cryptid list, it is exhaustive. I couldn't. Yeah, there's no way to even cover that. It would take like a year episode. Okay, um, but the fact that they're in national parks, and I feel like national parks are places for portals because maybe they don't have a lot of human areas. There's these weird things where you'll see staircases to nowhere. If you want to look that up, staircases to nowhere in the forest. Creepy, creepy AF. It just begs the question, like, what's going on in our national parks or in nature or the Appalachian Mountains, if I said that correctly? All these places seem to be hubs for paranormal activity. It's like, why those places?
Yeah. Oh, Yeti. There's one
Yes.
of the like Bigfoot. Sorry, I got really distracted because I wanted to know who was from who. So Bigfoot referred to as Sasquatch. Oh, that just says Pacific Northwest.
Yeti,
I can't
from what
remember.
I was reading, Yeti could be similar to also the abominable snowman, which is
Yes.
crazy. But again, big, furry, freaky looking, huge thing that's roaming around.
I'm pretty sure I've been on just random stairs in the woods.
Don't walk them up, Kaylee. Or
Well,
those
but
are
there's
weird.
lots of times that the Park Service just makes stairs for people.
No, no, no. But pull up an image because now I gotta show you.
Okay.
Where would they go? This like where stairs would
Just
go?
like up a hill.
No, no, no. This is like
Like this.
yes.
But what if there's
Or
a house there? Sorry, I'm not
okay.
trying to be a contrarian. I
No,
just have
totally. I
to.
like it. I like it.
Like,
Okay,
well, that just looks like a deformed castle.
that makes sense. Okay, what about that one? The one with the arrow.
This one?
Yep.
Oh, I'm not going to
Oh,
click
it's
it.
a
It's
video.
someone's
Okay,
podcast.
but you see what it's doing there.
So that's
There's
going to take
just
you to a portal,
I don't know.
and
There
then
it
you
is.
want it.
There's a picture of it. There's just a lot of weird things. Oh, that says mystery
Yeah,
solved. I'll
interesting.
have to look at that later. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But that's just a part of the story. Why are there random stairs in the middle of a national forest? Maybe they are portals to hell, to other dimensions.
Maybe. I mean, I've walked up a lot of well, I haven't done that much. I will just say this one particular instance, I can see in old national parks there being things that were built that they're not
Before they
using
became
anymore.
national. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or when they were, like, of the olden times of, like, let's make this easier to get to, or let's make this nice little hut, and then they cracked down on what they were doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, in those national parks, though, and in forests all over North America is the Bigfoot, which people speculate can travel through portals, which we've now thoroughly discussed with the stupid stairs. It's hard because there's so many anecdotal stories that I could not relay on this podcast, nor are they my stories to tell, but there's so many about Bigfoot, and you can I mean, it's obviously easier to hoax this one, so the videos, there's some stupid videos out there. I'm like, well, that's
Yeah.
obviously a person in a suit. But there's a lot of park rangers that have stories about things that they've seen out in the woods. So it just begs the question.
I mean,
Okay.
there's a lot of woods.
There's a lot of woods. There's a lot of uncharted territory for these things to be in and out of. Okay, next one is the rake. Have you heard of the rake?
No, it is. It's spelled R-E-I-K.
It's spelled Rake, but then just do rake cryptid, or else you're gonna get a bunch of yard tools popping up.
Oh, I hate this so much. God,
Okay.
Jason works late tonight, and this is a terrible night
Oh
for this.
no, I'm so sorry. Okay, as you're pulling the screen share up, I will explain to the people. It is a hairless, oh my god, this gives me the chill bills. This is a hairless, pale humanoid creature who generally crouches or crawls on all fours. It has razor sharp claws with very, very, very large hands and glowing eyes. They roam the countryside and they are slender and terrifying. Okay, so I've got a personal story here. Hopefully, Kenny's okay with me sharing this. He doesn't believe this actually happened. Did I tell you the story?
I don't
Like
think
off
so.
camera?
I
Okay.
need to stop looking at these because they are really creeping me out.
So imagine that those last three that were up on screen. So Kenny used to have a motorcycle and he was driving in the back roads back to home. And I mean like backwoods, like trees on either side. He was on his motorcycle turning a corner and he said that there was what he thought. He first came home and told me, I saw this weird tree that moved. And I'm like, no, 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 tell me more.
Kayla's like, it's happening!
Like, I don't want it to happen, but I kind of want to hear what you have to say. So he said there was this thing that was like crouched down, like literally crouched all the way down. And as he was passing, it like stood up. And he said I was like, I had to ask him so many questions because I'm like trying to paint a picture here in my head because at this point, I've heard a lot about these different creatures. And he said it had really, really long arms and it was really slender and his fingers were really long. And I'm like, but he's like, but it could be a branch. I'm like, I mean, what kind of branch? Like, it wasn't that windy. Like, nothing else was moving. So, anyway, I think Kenny saw a rake. It was like facing away from him, so all he saw was his back. Oops. So he didn't see his face or anything. And I guess it was probably about 20, 30 yards off the street, like at the tree line. But it makes sense from the back roads that I know he was on. Like, it's super country. And it was dark. Anyway, so that's my personal story with the rake.
Some of these are looking like things in Miss Peregrine's Home for Imaginary, Extraordinary, Peculiar, whatever.
I can see that.
There's some like bad thing that eats people or something, and this is exactly what I'm picturing it to look like.
It's terrifying.
First of all, I thought that book series was for children. It was terrifying. So anyway,
Yeah, don't read it. Don't read it if you're under 16. I don't know.
yeah, it was scary, Jerry. Okay.
Okay, my last one that I want to deep dive into is Mothman. I've talked about this.
I'm so excited because you've mentioned Mothman to me more times than I can even count, and I don't know anything except for the memes that I send you on Instagram.
I love it. There was, okay, this all stemmed from Point Pleasant, West Virginia. I did not write down the year, so sorry, don't come at me, YouTube. But it is a winged creature with red eyes, as you can see on the screen share. But if you're just listening, it is terrifying. It kind of looks like a moth and it kind of looks like a man, but it's basically huge, huge wings, red eyes, and I shall never want to run into one in real life. So, okay, that picture with it over the bridge, Mothman
Yeah.
caught on camera. Well, that's a different bridge, but this all started in Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Hmm.
People had, there was a lot of sightings of this thing, and that's the story of these people in a car who saw it from within their car, and then they drove off to like get away, and this thing followed, like flew over them. They were going like 100 miles an hour, and it just kept pace with them and was following them, and they're all freaked out. But they thought they were like, no one's going to believe us, so we're not going to say anything. So it took a while for that story to come out. Anyway, a lot of people saw it at Point Pleasant, and within a year of all these sightings, this is terrible. It's a
Just trying to
weird
make him
picture.
look like nice. This is a less terrifying one to look
It
at.
is a less terrifying. So within a year of all these sightings that happened, the a very tragic thing happened in Point Pleasant, and that is the Silver Bridge collapse. So they had a bridge in the city, which, granted, could have been very overdue for new engineering and new work, but it collapsed and killed like 46 people.
Maybe Mothman was trying to warn them.
That's what people say. They say
Maybe he
that
was
it
trying
could
to be
be,
nice.
uh-huh. He's either like a bad omen, so when he comes around something bad's gonna happen, or he's like a harbinger of doom. So like, be warned. So like,
Oh,
is
so
he
he
good?
might
Is he
actually be
bad?
like a good guy.
I don't know. He looks really scary to me. But anyway, people feel that way, that he's
Maybe
like
he's just
predictor.
ugly.
Maybe he's just ugly.
Yeah.
He's like, damn it, I'm the ugly one, but I gotta save the world and prevent.
Yeah, yeah, he's like the misfit of the cryptid universe, and he's like, I'm gonna help these guys.
The one
I
thing that
like this version
doesn't,
of
it
Mothman.
does not bode well for Mothman is that it also resembles several, again, here's the word, demon archetypes who have shown up in people's
Oh,
sleep paralysis, which is a weird
interesting.
state for people who believe in this stuff, because it's like that's where people see a lot of shit within sleep
Oh,
paralysis. So,
okay,
is he good? It's up for debate.
okay.
Isn't that interesting?
Very interesting. Did you hear that?
I did. It was terrible.
My dog just did the most dramatic yawn I've ever heard in my
Well,
entire
because
life.
we're talking about this, it sounded like the Mothman himself.
It sounded like a creature from the deep beyond. He just went.
I think the mic picked it up because I could hear it.
That was. I hope it did because
Oh
that
my
was
god.
insane. Okay.
There are so many other ones, but the notable creatures that we didn't really get into too much were, we've talked about the Yeti, or the abominable, abominable.
Abominable.
By the way, do you remember playing that game on like the old computers? It's like just a snow hill, and it's a stick figure, abominable snowman running down the hill
Sounds
chasing you.
familiar.
You gotta look it up. Try to look it up and see, because it was like a big part of my childhood, which sounds insane, but it's true.
My God. Okay,
Is
let
it
me
bringing
share
back
this.
memories?
Shit, it's not. Okay, let me just pull this up. My God, this is so funny. I can't wait to share my screen.
Is it ringing a bell to you?
Yes, not that. This.
Oh gosh.
This.
Yes, that's what it is. Ski free.
This.
That's what it's
This
called.
weird little paint creation.
Bro,
Oh my God, the copyright's from 1991. I remember this game.
dude, I loved that game. I didn't realize it was called Ski Free. I want to find some kind of computer program or CD that has all the old games on it, like Pipe Dream and Ski Free, and I can't think of anything others right now. But anyway, so there's that. There's Loch Ness Monster, which most people are aware of. Chupacabra is within this cryptid family umbrella.
Does that have like chicken legs?
No, unless I don't know what you consider. I mean, I know what a chicken leg looks like. I think a chupacabra is more like a coyote.
Oh yeah, it's like a lizardy coyote. Here, I'll pull him up. You keep talking.
I mean, that's it. I mean, that's a big one that people talk about. There's movies and shows about that one. That's terrifying. Yeah, people think that like there was a story about this farmer who had all these cows, and they like were all dead. and they were drained of their blood, but no blood was anywhere. So is it a chupacabra? Is it aliens? Nobody knows, but it was a terrible story. There's these thing called mimics, which I almost feel like is not a separate cryptid, but it's a skill that some of these cryptid has, like the what did I say did this? Like the Wendigo. They can mimic people's voices to be like Kaylee, and then you are like what? And you like come closer, and then they attack.
I've heard versions of the Sasquatch slash Yeti mimicking like other animal sounds.
Yes, I've heard like women's voices. I've heard children's cry, which that's just shitty to do, but they
Right.
do. And then there's some stories that if you're dealing with a shapeshifter, they can actually mimic like your husband or your child or whatever it is. Terrifying.
Okay, I have one more question since you're my resident cryptozoology expert. What
Expert
are the things where they have two eyelids? What
lizards?
are the people that have two eyelids?
The lizard people.
Yeah, what is that? What's their deal?
That's a whole other. I didn't even touch on that because that could be a whole other episode. Apparently, lizard people are like a species that were here before humans were. They're
Uh-huh.
like they're lizard culture, but they can shapeshift, and so apparently, lizard people can shapeshift, and apparently, the conspiracy theory is that these lizard creatures are here to destroy the world or to for their own greed and revenge, and they shapeshift into major political and powerful people, and they are running the country. That's the conspiracy theory, but yes, there are lizard people and lizard things, and a whole lizard colony apparently that's underground, on a base in Antarctica. I don't know.
Do we think lizard people are aliens, or we think lizard people are terrestrial inhabitants first? Are they the original Native Americans?
God, you're gonna get us canceled. I'm
Are
kidding.
they the
No,
original Earth natives?
I honestly feel like this was my closing question to you was, are we just in some kind of simulation or in some kind of multiverse or miniverse, as Rick and Morty would call it, and we're just floating around, and all we're just there, and all these other creatures from like the Mothman planet, and from the Lizard planet, and from the Bat Squatch planet. They're just all coming in and checking us out and probing us out, and the aliens, but they're actually all the same thing, and then they're coming from within and from out, and they're just all in our shit because they want to understand us or they want to use us for good or evil. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much and everything's interdimensional and we live in a multiverse and we're just getting bombarded with all types of things and I don't know where they come from.
Do you ever have any stories of people going to other people's universes? Well, how come we're like the duds who can't leave?
Well, every time there is a story of people like getting abducted or going through a portal, like I just watched something this morning that was about this young girl who was at a little pond lake thing that's next to woods essentially, and her dad was right there. All of a sudden she disappeared. They could not find her. 6 days later she wakes up 30 miles away. Well, it's a 7 mile straight shot, but when you walk the hills it's basically 30 miles. Comes out of the cave and she's like, here I am, in her bathing suit 6 days later with nothing but some scratches and some bug bites. So it's like if people go through portals or get taken and shifted to a different location, they don't remember it. Just like alien abductions, you know?
Well, I just like, is Mothman randomly showing up here? Like, oh shit, how'd I get here? How come
I
we can't
think
go anywhere else?
I think if we do, like the missing people in the national forests, for forests, they walk up the stairs. I'm just kidding. If they find a portal though, and they enter it, they don't realize what's on the other side, and the other side is ready to grab and take and not return. You know what I'm saying?
But how come other people get to come and go as they please?
Because they're
I
smarter
don't
than
expect
us.
you to answer this.
They're smart.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like they
So
are
we're just
just,
the dum dums.
or we just don't understand how that part of the world, that that essence of the universe, we just don't understand it. Or the people that do understand it, who have power, aren't sharing that with us. And that's why national
Okay.
parks are I'm kidding. I keep going national parks. It's fine. It's not a conspiracy theory. But anyway, That's my thought. It's just my own dumb opinion.
I know it's beautiful. It's
It's
great. It's
crazy.
beautiful. It's perfect. This
Is
is
that not wild?
boggling my mind.
Okay. Do you have any questions? Because,
I just want to do some closing remarks and then we'll wrap it up for everybody because I feel like I have a lot of indigestion.
and I have
So,
a tip of the week if you don't have one after you're done with that.
okay, perfect. So, what we've gathered is that maybe, because you know how there were Native Americans that they would call like spirit walkers or something? So maybe like the older humans were more in touch with this stuff and had a better awareness, and we've just gotten more up our butts about it.
There's stories about shamans and how they are like the only ones that can defeat these things if they run into them. Like people with more spiritually inclined and connected.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like most of the religious traditions have some form of a demonic something or other and then a holy person. So, I mean, I don't know. Is it a manifestation of the evil in the world or different universes? Are there other planets or are there other dimensions? I don't know. I like playing What If, and I don't know. I just like the idea of all of it. I like knowing what other people are into.
Oh yeah. It's fascinating. Again, I just like asking questions. And when the questions lead me to these crazy stories, it's like I want to know. I want to listen. So anyway, I still hope I die and find out all the things that are true or not. But my tip of the week, I've mentioned this before, but I have to like this is super relevant. After you listen to all of our episodes, go listen to the Confessional podcast. It's called The Confessionals with Tony Merkel. It's a podcast with a hand and has 5 fingers. Anyway, so many stories. I mean, he talks about ghosts and demons and Hatman and Mothman and Dogman. And I saw like there's so much stuff and you could like episodes for days. So if you like
Catwoman.
yeah, there's a Catwoman, there's like an ocean lady, there's Lilith. I mean, literally anything you can imagine. So go listen to that if you're interested in this stuff because that is where I learned a lot about this.
That is so fun. What are they? Thank you, the confessionals, for scaring the shit out of Kayla, who in turn scared the shit out of me. And go check them out, I guess, or don't if you're scared like me. And until next week,
Love you.
love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Are you scared now? It freaks me out.
Like, I hate recording when we talk about scary stuff because there's a door behind me and I keep looking at my recording of the door to see imagine the handle turning.
Well, your witch hat above your skull painting was moving at one point. I assumed it was the wind, but I was like, oh, this is stressful.
The number. I'm going to have to take melatonin tonight. I can't take
no,
melatonin.
so
It gives me bad dreams. I'm going to have to take Benadryl. That's not doctor's advice.